Hey guys, I'm Diana
And I'm Becky.
from Centere. So we are going to talk about what a capnograph does today. And some people say a capnograph is going to measure end-tidal CO2. And some people say, well, what is that? So I'm going to give you guys a quick analogy. I'm going to show you how this beast works, and Becky's going to tell us why we need to use it. So I'm going to give you all the analogy of a car. Everybody's been for an emission test. They're measuring the exhaust. They're measuring what comes out of the exhaust. And really, the analogy is we're trying to measure the same thing. So you put gas in the car. The gas fires the engine, and the exhaust comes out the other side. Now, if your exhaust is not strong enough, or it's too weak, or it's too rich, something's going wrong in the engine. Obviously, you guys need to get that fixed before you'll pass an emission, okay? End of analogy, a capnograph is doing the same thing on the air we cannot see, all right? So what happens is the patient breathes the anesthesia or oxygen inside, and at this point, the metabolic rate kicks in and metabolizes this and goes through the lungs, which the heart is pumping the lungs, and kicks it out on the other side. And we really want to know that that patient is able to kick it out. Now, if they're not able to kick it out, what's going on inside? So if they keep it in, is it a question of the lungs not functioning? Is it a question of the heart not pumping hard enough to have the lungs function? So what happens is we're measuring that by a straightway adapter at the end of an ET tube. And we've got this on the patient. This little line here is going to bring in the air that the patient's breathing. There's a pump inside of the unit. The pump is going to bring in the air, measure the end-tidal CO2, and kick the air out, okay? There's some other things that can go wrong as well if we don't have a proper measurement, and Becky's going to explain to us what can go wrong and really why we want to use this. Becky?
All right, so a couple of things on why you would want to use this instrument. So number one, this is going to tell you if the endotracheal tube wasn't positioned properly, hence the animal wouldn't be breathing properly, and that would affect your readings. The other thing that can go on is that the animal can be holding its breath, or maybe it's not getting enough of the anesthesia gases and it needs to get more to breathe better or properly.
So Becky, what happens if our patient decides not to take a breath?
So if the animal happens not to take a breath, you're going to know about that within a couple of seconds on this particular unit, versus if you're also using an SpO2 sensor, there's going to be a several minute delay on when you're going to find out that that animal isn't breathing. So which would you rather have?
Oh yeah, and I think that there's some other things too, and I know we've all know what hypoventilating means. That means you're breathing very slowly. Hyperventilating means you're breathing very quickly. We both know that this can do a number on the end-tidal CO2 measurement. Obviously, we want to know if our patients are doing that as well. So next time, we're going to take a look at waveforms. And the waveform on a capnograph can really give us a lot of information on what's going on with our patient.
Thanks, Diana.
Thanks, Becky.